A refugee from the slums spent 3 years of savings to purchase a business class ticket. His purpose was to meet the airline owner, Mark, because his dream was to establish a budget airline that poor people could afford. But just after shaking hands with the boss, the man quickly pulled out hand sanitizer to disinfect. Clearly, Jack's idea didn't gain the boss's approval, because Mark didn't want to smell poor people on his planes. After saying this, he prepared to send Jack to economy class. But since Jack had bought a business class ticket, the boss had no right to remove him. What he didn't expect was that after the boss merely said a word to the flight attendant, the plane returned directly to the gate. But the boss would never imagine that Jack would later become his most formidable competitor. Just as Jack walked out of the airport, venture capitalist Mark approached him on his own initiative. He had heard Jack's conversation with the airline owner on the plane. Mark expressed great interest in this budget airline concept, but since buying planes required a considerable sum, he asked Jack to provide some detailed data. However, Jack took him to a small restaurant. The crowded and noisy environment made Mark very dissatisfied. He asked Jack why they weren't dining at a 5-star hotel, but Jack didn't explain, and instead asked him to try the pizza. When Mark tasted it, he was shocked. The flavor here was identical to that of a 5-star hotel. Jack said this pizza cost only 30 rupees, but the same thing would cost 3,000 rupees at a 5-star hotel. This was because it eliminated many unnecessary frills. After hearing this, Mark gave him an opportunity without hesitation. It turned out Jack was once an Indian Air Force member. One day, he suddenly received news that his father was critically ill. To go home and see his father one last time, his comrades pooled money for his plane ticket. But when Jack arrived at the ticket office, he discovered economy class tickets were sold out. The expensive business class was beyond his means. No matter how Jack explained, it was to no avail. To get home quickly, he even knelt on the ground begging people nearby. But even so, everyone in the hall turned a deaf ear. Left with no choice, he could only take a bus, transfer to a train, and finally switch to a motorcycle. But by the time he got home, it was already too late. Not being able to see his father one last time became Jack's lifelong regret.